Picture this. The US government wakes up one day, takes a deep breath, looks at its gold reserves and says, "You know what? Let's swap some of this for Bitcoin." Sounds like something from a finance geek's fever dream, right? But here we are, in 2025, and this idea is actually being discussed in some serious circles. Could America really be on the verge of revaluing its gold stash to invest in Bitcoin? Would this be a genius financial move, or the beginning of a wild economic roller coaster? Buckle up, because we're diving into everything you need to know about this crazy possibility. But before we start, let's talk about something that won't fluctuate like Bitcoin: your support. Hitting that subscribe button is 100% free, has zero transaction fees, and unlike the US dollar, its value never goes down. So go ahead, subscribe, and let's begin. The gold standard. A quick refresher. Before we talk about the potential future, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Once upon a time, before 1971, the US dollar was backed by gold. This system, known as the gold standard, meant that every dollar had actual gold supporting it. So, in theory, you could walk into a bank and exchange your paper money for its equivalent in gold. But in 1971, President Nixon decided, let's not do that anymore, and took the US off the gold standard. Since then, the dollar has been backed by, mostly trust in the government. Kind of like how your friend owes you $50, but instead of paying you back, he just says, "Trust me, bro, I got you." Fast forward to today, and the US still holds about 8,133 metric tons of gold, one of the largest reserves in the world. But with inflation rising and digital currencies gaining traction, some policymakers are wondering, should we shake things up? If this is helpful so far, show some love by liking this video, because the more likes we get, the more people escape financial confusion. Next, is Bitcoin the new gold? Now let's talk about the new kid on the financial block: Bitcoin. Often called digital gold, Bitcoin has become a store of value for many investors. It's decentralized, limited in supply. Only 21 million coins will ever exist, and immune to government manipulation. Unless, of course, governments start buying it themselves. Since its launch in 2009, Bitcoin has skyrocketed in value. It went from being something nerds used to buy pizza to an asset that major institutions, hedge funds, and even El Salvador's government are holding. As of 2025, Bitcoin is hovering around $60,000 per coin, and some believe it could go much, much higher. So, if Bitcoin is the gold of the digital age, why wouldn't Uncle Sam want in on it? The proposal: revaluing gold to buy Bitcoin. Here's the wild part. Some policymakers are proposing that the US revalue its gold reserves, unlocking capital to buy Bitcoin and create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Right now, the government values its gold at $42.22 per ounce, a number set decades ago. But gold's actual market price is around $2,000 per ounce in 2025. That's like owning a vintage sports car and pretending it's only worth what you paid for it in 1965. By revaluing gold to match its market price, the US could suddenly find hundreds of billions of dollars on its balance sheet, money that could then be used to buy Bitcoin. Senator Cynthia Lummis and other pro-crypto lawmakers are pushing for this idea, arguing that it could. 1. Diversify national reserves. 2. Hedge against inflation. 3. Position the US as a leader in digital finance. Why would the US want Bitcoin? Let's break down the potential benefits. 1. Inflation hedge. Unlike the US dollar, which can be printed endlessly, national debt, Bitcoin has a fixed supply. Holding Bitcoin could be a way to counter inflation. 2. Keeping up with China. China has been aggressively developing its digital currency, the digital yuan. Some experts argue that the US needs to stay competitive in the digital finance race. 3. Seized Bitcoin reserves. The US government already owns over 200,000 BTC, mostly confiscated from criminals. Adding more Bitcoin to its reserves could give it significant financial leverage. The risks and concerns. Of course, not everyone thinks this is a great idea. Here are some major concerns. 1. Bitcoin's volatility. Bitcoin's price can swing faster than your mood after reading the news. If the government buys high and the price drops, taxpayers could be left footing the bill. 2. Regulatory uncertainty. Bitcoin still exists in a legal gray area. If the government starts buying it while also considering new regulations, things could get messy. 3. Public perception. Let's be honest, a lot of people still see Bitcoin as internet money for nerds and criminals. Convincing the public that this is a smart financial move won't be easy. What's happening right now? In March 2025, President Trump signed an executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Instead of directly buying Bitcoin, the reserve will be funded with Bitcoin seized in criminal cases. Some experts see this as a test run before making larger moves. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve is still skeptical, with some officials warning that Bitcoin's volatility makes it unsuitable as a reserve asset. But with more countries exploring central bank digital currency, pressure is mounting. So, will the US government actually revalue gold to buy Bitcoin? Right now, it's more of a bold idea than a done deal. But one thing is clear, the financial landscape is changing, and digital assets are becoming harder to ignore. Whether you're a gold bug or a crypto enthusiast, this is a story worth watching. Who knows? In a few years, Bitcoin might be sitting right next to gold in America's vaults. Or, at the very least, in a government-controlled hardware wallet. What do you think? Is this a genius move or financial madness? Feel free to drop the comment below and let us know. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.